Just a note beforehand, I'm not normally negative towards a lot of things, and I'm a pretty nice guy in general, but there are just so many things I have to say about this server that I can't keep in anymore. For the record, I'm only letting my toxicity loose this one time. Just wanted to clarify this before the video began. Some of you may know, something kind of bad happened to me recently on a certain Minecraft server called Mineplex. Mineplex decided to give me a permanent ban just for trying to boost my stats on the server. And that's already bad by itself that Mineplex banned people for just trying to boost their stats, but that's not the only thing. There have been so many things I've hated about Mineplex over the years that I feel like I have to finally share with you guys. Mineplex was actually pretty good in the old days, but over time it went massively downhill to the state where the server is just not likable anymore. So sit back and grab some popcorn because you are about to hear my explanation on why Mineplex is one of the worst servers on Minecraft. Let's start off talking about the thing that got me the permanent ban. I find it so absolutely retarded that Mineplex seriously will ban somebody for a flipping month just because you are trying to boost your stats. It's not my fault you don't make the rules very clear in the actual games of what you're supposed to do and what's not allowed, because apparently killing the same hunter 10 times in a row in a game of block hunt counts as stat boosting and you get banned for that. The thing I find funny is that me and my friends in Cake Wars didn't get banned for camping somebody at their base for kills and more XP. So that doesn't count as stat boosting, but simply getting a couple of kills from a hunter and block hunt does count as stat boosting? That's a big load of horse baloney! That's not the only thing about stat boosting I want to say. Isn't one of the biggest goals at Mineplex is to try to boost your stats to become level 100? So the thing that a lot of people on Mineplex are trying to aim for is a bannable thing. Like, that seriously makes no freaking sense whatsoever. Like, the things that counts for stat boosting is just so dumb. Like, going back to block hunt, literally when I'm getting a bunch of kills on hunters, I'm not the only one that's getting a bunch of kills. There have been several instances where I've seen many other tryhards like spawn camp the hunters and definitely boosting their stats quickly. But do they get banned for doing that? Apparently not, because Mineplex is just so dysfunctional and embarrassing that they pick and choose the people who get in trouble, which is such bullcrap. In short, the stat boosting ban is just so absolutely retarded and really shouldn't exist at all. Now, you may have thought stat boosting is bogus, but this as well is very stupid and asinine. Remember, I got banned for the following: revealing the words in the party chat. Now hold the frick up. Revealing the word is counted as trolling. Wouldn't trolling more be like telling people words that isn't actually the word and getting them all frustrated? I would totally count that way more in the definition of chat trolling. Also, would you get banned for telling the word to like people like in a call? Because I have a big feeling you could totally get falsely banned for that and it'll give you the same message you were revealing the word like in the party chat. Speaking of the party chat thing, I have heard that the moderators can see the things you say in party chat, and I really believe that it's such a breach of privacy. A moderator should not be able to see what you are saying in party chat. For example, what if a friend of yours is like you're talking to is like speaking their private thoughts about their deep depression or just talking about something in general that they don't want others to hear? It's just so dumb that the mods can see the party chat and it really shouldn't be allowed. There's also something else I'd like to say about the chat trolling BS. Do some people seriously get so dramatically upset that people reveal the word to each other? Like, I seriously can't believe some people decide to spend the time to make a report against some teamers. I know of some people that get so angry at the teamers that they grab a friend of theirs and team themselves! Even funnier thing is those people don't seem to ever get banned. It's just the same thing that Mineplex pretty much just picks and chooses the people they decide are good and who are bad. I also would like to mention that chat spamming doesn't count as chat trolling. It's literally a whole different category from it, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. To wrap up, chat trolling, just like stat boosting, it's just so incredibly vague on what counts as it and what doesn't count, and seriously needs to be much more clear. Oh my goodness gracious. This also seriously pisses me off. The things that you can get muted for because of filter bypass is so dumb. I remember looking at my history at Mineplex and I apparently got muted for filter bypassing the word hypixel? Is that seriously a thing you get muted for? That's really dumb, not gonna lie. That's also not the only dumb filter bypass. My good friend Cr5ativename has his own case of a horrible filter bypass on the server.
Hey guys, it's Cr5ativename. One day, I was talking to a staff member about the parkour in the lobby. I jokingly asked him, "Change the parkour in the lobby if you can, sir." Apparently, the staff member thought I was filter bypassing the word cancer, when the context clearly implied that I said can, sir. I didn't even realize it, and I got a warning for that, which I found so dumb since I wasn't even trying to filter bypass that in the first place. Apparently, saying random sentences in an interesting way could get you a warning and can possibly even get you muted, which I find just so absurd. Back to you, Luigi.
Yeah, for sure, that is pretty crap. I'm also very sure that there are many absurd cases of filter bypass from other players, but I just decided to go for the cases that me and my friends dealt with. So in summary, the dumb crap you can get muted for or get a warning for that is considered filter bypass is absolutely ridiculous. This is seriously a huge problem about the server. Staff at Mineplex seem to only care about making new maps for the games every once in a blue moon. On top of that, some of the new maps they add aren't even that good. Who at Mineplex would really care about these new maps? I know plenty of things Mineplex should sincerely care about. For example, maybe try to make it so that when more people come on your server, it isn't extremely laggy to the point nothing loads on your server. That literally happens when a big server like Hypixel goes down for a bit and tons of people flood into Mineplex. Like, Mineplex can't handle like 6,000 people now, while Hypixel handles like 160,000 people or more. You should also try getting a better anti-cheat too, since so many damn hackers come on your server and they get away with their hacks. I feel like they also need more staff members. There have been so many times where I've wanted to talk to a staff member and I couldn't because there weren't any online. That's actually why tons of people are hacking on your server, because you barely have any staff. Like, seriously, come on, Mineplex, fix what's actually important instead of giving us useless new maps like every now and then. For a server just as bad as this one, why would you even consider buying a motor rank at all? Sure, you may think that the ranks would be good because of the better rewards you get monthly and then you get some cool cosmetics, but the fact that you have to pay $7 monthly just to get them is just trash. Even the cost of $70 a year is ridiculous. Like, having a subscription for a flipping rank on a severely dead server is just bonkers. Oh, and don't get me started about the Immortal points thing. From what I gather, basically you get Immortal points every month from Carl the Creeper, and if you keep a streak going while getting points every month, the amount of points you get increases. Now, my question is, why is that the only way you can get points? Why can't you get them from doing good in games? It really seems you need like a lot of Immortal points to get all the stuff in the shop. It takes roughly 600,000 Immortal points to tame all the stuff in the shop. To even get the stuff you may want, you would have to wait a long period of time just to get it, which means more money goes down the drain. Like, even if the Immortal points increase by like 1,000 per month, it would take you almost 3 years to get everything, which means either $210 or $252 are going to fade away from your pocket.
Maybe you would argue, you and your friends have ranks on the server, why shouldn't we have ranks? First of all, when we purchased the rank, we were hoping the money would help the creators develop a better server. This turned out to be a complete waste because of how badly the server performed. Another thing is that when me and my friends got a rank on the server, at least the rank is permanent and wouldn't eventually go away if you couldn't pay the money for it. After all of that, if you're still thinking that you're going to become much cooler if you have a mortal rank, that wish of yours will get shattered into a million pieces. Seriously, don't get Immortal on this server. It's not worth paying for something that isn't permanent.
Okay, I have a lot to say about this topic, so you better sit tight and listen to why I think this is one of Mineplex's biggest problems of all time. I couldn't even go a single day on this server without having at least one person being completely toxic towards the things that I was doing. It mainly started when I made a mistake in the past, and for the rest of my time on Mineplex until I got banned, the tryhards in the games kept mocking me about it. They would keep throwing like in my face that I was a stat boosting loser and that I'm lame, pathetic, and just trash in general. If you think I am not telling the truth, we have a clip for you that we would like to show you. Additionally, the people I played with generally get so mad when they're not performing as well as me in the game. I can't tell you the amount of times I have been called gay, hacker, cheater, horrible, get a life, loser, and just sad. If you also want proof of this, here's a phenomenal video to show you.
What? Oh, I am awesome. Okay, got you. Or they're gonna guess it now with the L and the B, okay? No, you're not, he says loser. Nope, fat, get a life. Oh my god, look at this. Look at this. I'm just gonna, like, screenshot all of this.
You guys are such toxic losers.
Yes, they didn't get it. Okay.
I seriously can't believe that even though me and Mario were teaming, they were getting toxic and all because their team wasn't coming out on top. That has indeed happened multiple times even when I am playing by myself. I am facing teamers, and when I'm doing better than them, they just get so damn negative all the time and can't accept the fact that they can't win every game. Some people get so dang upset to the point that they will do everything in their power to get you reported. Because of me doing good at some of the games that resulted in me in getting banned just because some people were way too triggered. I remember a friend of mine, Cr5ativename, said something like this: if you think being good at Mineplex is a good thing to be proud of, then you are just extremely sad. Like, I totally agree with this so much. Like, no one's gonna give a damn that you're good at games in Mineplex. You wanna know why? The server is freaking dead, that's why! The people that don't do anything else but play on the server are usually the ones that get very toxic and have way too much pride when they are good at certain games. Like, Mario has a story that perfectly matches what I just said.
Let me explain the situation. I was with my friends in a Cake Wars game, and there was this team that seemed so much better than us. They were calling us losers for putting obsidian around our cake, and that we were just delaying our inevitable deaths. They were so convinced that they were going to come out on top, but one of us ended up getting their cake and we eventually killed them off one by one. They were so furious about it later, and weren't being good sports at all.
It may seem like I'm saying that all players are bad at Mineplex, but that's not the case. There are some nice people I've gotten along with on the server, but those nice players are about 1/10 of Mineplex's players. The thing is, these toxic players are usually way too freaking good at the games they play most of the time, and I'm finding myself losing games instead of winning much. The old days Mineplex were nice, and the lobbies would have combinations of some noobs and some good players that were tolerable. Nowadays, it's no longer tolerable, and most of the games on Mineplex are no longer fun. To conclude, many players on the server are extremely rude, are overly confident, get way too triggered when they lose, and the games are completely ruined by them since they are too addicted to the games they play. Since Mineplex is pretty much a dead server, you know exactly what happens when a server becomes dead. The hackers start flooding in like a raging tsunami coming in to hit a town. There's just so many different types of hackers that infest Mineplex nowadays. The hackers are so bad that I've even seen people fly hacking and draw my thing when they're not even drawing. You think fly hacking is bad? Well, let me tell you what each individual hacks I've seen throughout my time on Mineplex. We'll start off with the most common ones, bee-hopping. I see bee-hopping on Cake Wars very frequently. People would bee-hop so far to someone else's base and completely eat the cake and destroy them with ease. Just because they are bad at the game and decided to resort to hacks and completely ruin the fun of the game. Some of the hackers still can't even win with their hacks, which is just sad on so many levels. Here's 2 clips I got of bee-hopping hackers while playing with MarioHCF one day. Another type of hacks that is common is reach hacks. Basically what reach is that hackers are able to hit players from a distance that you normally wouldn't be able to hit them from. Those players are also usually the ones that are bee-hopping or also using anti-knockback. Anti-knockback, well, the name speaks for itself. They won't move backwards at all when they get hit. It's also pretty likely that these types of hackers can also fly hack. It's just so utterly ridiculous. So basically, like I said before, they seriously think that hacking in the game is going to make them a better player. What that instead shows is how much of a noob you are, since you have to resort to hacks just to have a better chance of winning. One of the hacks I hated the most was ESP tracking. ESP tracking is a hack I've seen people use in the game block so they can figure out where hiders are faster. It is very frustrating because they know exactly where each hider is and don't even hesitate on which block it could be. The thing is, those people barely get banned! I only remember one case out of the many ESP trackers I have seen where I reported them and my report got accepted. It's just so absolutely retarded that they completely get away with it most of the time and how unfair it is to the hiders. The thing is, I also found completely bogus in Block Hunt was the player hitboxes. Now I know this isn't really a hack, but player hitboxes should seriously not be allowed in the game. It isn't as bad as ESP tracking, but it definitely helps hunters out big time as some hunters get many kills so easily with it. The thing is, using player hitboxes isn't a bannable thing! So you're telling me using something similar to ESP tracking is not bannable? Yeah, good one. Mineplex. Another crapfest move on your part. You may not think this is much of a big deal, but watch this clip of a hunter for sure using player hitboxes, and look how many kills he got. In general, hackers ruin so much of the fun of Mineplex, and they're just terrible at the games too, since they have to hack to win any of their games! The reporting system on Mineplex is so weird and makes no sense. Why do you have to be so specific about what you are trying to report someone for? The only reports I've gotten accepted were a few times for general rudeness, filter bypass, inappropriate behavior, spamming chat, and once for ESP tracking. Things like when people are teaming in Draw My Thing, drawing inappropriate things in Draw My Thing, hacksling or teaming in solo survival games or Sky Wars doesn't get accepted at all. Heck, even any of the things I just listed before don't always get accepted. You may argue, oh, you're just not reporting it correctly, or no, duh, Luigi, not all the reports for those categories you listed won't get accepted. Well, here's the thing I have to say about that. For starters, I don't really report some people that I hate. I make sure I actually have a good reason to report the person. Some people that I played with were clearly being very inappropriate and didn't even get punished at all. If you think I am joking about the people being inappropriate, have a look at all these screenshots I have taken. Is this seriously the case where Mineplex just picks and chooses who gets in trouble again? Secondly, if you think I wasn't reporting correctly, I think that's saying that Ekans and Googleplex00 were teaming in Draw My Thing, or something like HD Baller is accusing me of hacking when I'm not. Should seriously get the message across, and the staff should at least check it out. If you want us to be more specific, give us a freaking list of reasons in the report command! Seriously, it isn't that difficult at all! So Mineplex, the reporting system is just way too confusing and needs to be more precise on what it actually wants. I seriously can't believe how bad the server is with lag. There can be periodic moments where the server would massively lag and it takes them multiple hours to eventually fix it. That proves the administrators on Mineplex are so damn lazy. That's not the worst of it. When they get a big influx of people coming in on the server, they can handle it. The lag is so unbearable that I have to leave the server and do something else in the meantime while Mineplex is having a lag heart attack. Additionally, when I'm in a game lobby, there are times where that lobby specifically starts to lag like crazy. It makes playing the game incredibly hard and annoying, and it forced me to leave that lobby and find a better one. Now, you may not consider what I'm talking about next as lag, but it's astonishing how annoying this is. When in version 1.15.2, a bunch of structures randomly turn into buttons, and if you stand in them, you start glitching on it like freaking crazy. Even standing on anvils or inside cultures in a weird way can make you start glitching pretty bad too. The worst is in version 1.16.4 because all doors are freaking invisible! Now, that may not seem that bad, but if you try to go through a door that is supposed to be there, you can't go through and you'll start glitching. This is especially annoying at Blocka when there are so many houses and buildings you can go into and hide. These problems haven't been attempted to get fixed as far as I'm concerned, and it's just so freaking pathetic. So Mineplex, get off your lazy buttocks of yours and fix your lag problems! Because your lag is terrible, it got one of my friends troll banned. Server has lost so many of its players over the years, it removed tons of classic games that we don't see any new games coming in. Now sure, we get the Halloween Havoc and Christmas Chaos each year, but I definitely don't count those as new games. The amount of games they have gotten rid of is just crazy! Here's a big list of all the games that Mineplex got rid of. Castle Sage, Castle Assault, Skyfall, Wizards, Sneaky Assassins, Bok Battles, Heroes of the Gwen, Monster Maze, Gladiators, the Mixed Arcade version, Evolution, Snake, Sheep Quest, Runner, Dragons, Death Tag, Bomb Lobbers, Super Spleef, Wither Assault, Milk the Cow, and One in the Quiver. Now you may argue, oh LuigiStriker, those games are still on the server, what are you talking about? Yeah, it doesn't feel like they're on the server if absolutely no one is playing them. Even some of the games I've listed don't exist at all anymore. I don't mind that some of them don't exist anymore since they were bad games, but others really shouldn't have bit the dust. I remember Castle Stage being one of the better games on Mineplex, but it had to go because it was barely getting any players. Isn't that the case with most of your games, Mineplex? The only time I remember Castle Stage being dead was when there wasn't anybody playing it very late at night, and that's understandable. Then later in the day, there was a huge amount of people playing it. Even the games you kept on the server are like this too. Draw My Thing, Micro Battles, Master Builders, etc. I personally think the reason why they got rid of Castle Siege is full of crap and they're making excuses. In conclusion, Mineplex seems like it will never add any new games soon, and getting rid of so many classic games is ruining the server. That's a wrap, folks! I know that was a lot to talk about, and let me just remind you of all the points. I talked about stat boosting, chat trolling, filter bypass, Mineplex caring only about new maps, don't buy Immortal rank, toxic people, hackers, reporting systems, server is laggy, and removing old games and no new games. I know there's more I could say, but the things I stated are for sure some of the biggest problems on the server. I don't know if Mineplex will ever fix their problems, but my guess is that they never will. I said in the beginning that I'm not normally a toxic person, and that is the truth. Since I have a good sense of what the server is like overall, there's no way I could keep this all in my head. If you have anything you would like to add about the server that you think is wrong, make sure to tell me in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will be seeing you later in the next video. So long, Mineplex. You won't be missed. Not in the slightest. Bye-bye.